Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing well and your studies are going in full swing. Now with just about a day before your exams, I'm sure there is a lot going on and the portion just does not seem to get over. And you're thinking that you need to cover a lot of things. Trust me when I tell you this with a lot of experience that no matter what you have done, you would feel it to be a little less, but trust your process and what you have done is definitely sufficient. The CA final papers is such, especially financial reporting, that you feel that there can be so much more that can be done, but what you have done till now is excellent and back yourself for that. Now your focus has to shift on the match day, and no matter how many revisions you have done, no matter how much practice you have done, what you do in those 3 hours, or to be precise, the 3 hour 15 minutes is going to define everything going forward. And hence in today's video I'm going to share something which is very very in a very quick manner so that it helps you optimize and give your best results in those three and a half hours. Okay, so the first two things which I will handle together is the 15 minutes and the sequence in which you solve the paper. Now the reading time of 15 minutes should never be utilized for the compulsory question because that is something that you have to attempt, and among the other questions that you will look on the descriptive side, you will not sit and read each and every question. The 15 minutes will run away. It does not really help you. The only objective that you should have in those 15 minutes is identifying the question that you want to start with, which should typically be the question which you are most comfortable with and which you are most confident with. Gives a good impression to the examiner, gives a good momentum to you to kind of ease your nerves and take it forward. And the one question that you kind of think is the question that you can leave in an option because you're not very comfortable with. So the 15 minutes has to answer two questions. Which question do I start with and which is the question that I'm potentially going to leave? Secondly, in those 15 minutes, which question should I ideally start with? Now the sequence of solving is kind of a problem. Now there's no one set rule, but if I were to solve a paper, what would I do? Well, I would not start with an MCQ. I would not start with the consolidation or business combination question. I will look at one of the other descriptive questions which I'm most comfortable with, which can happen in a slightly faster way. Like for example, if you're very comfortable with something like an EPS or something on those lines comes, I would start with that paper. It gives me confidence, gives me momentum, at the same time does not take a very long period of time. So ideally the first two questions should be based on other than consolidation and MCQ questions, and you should be solving that. After that, preferably let us say 45 minutes to an hour into the paper is your ideal time where I would start my MCQs, because if I start MCQs at the beginning, I have not developed my writing speed, I've kind of not pushed my let us say hand, and as a result what happens is your hand needs a bit of a rest. If you kind of have to speed out, MCQs at the middle really help you, and at the beginning if you do MCQs, you kind of tend to cross check and keep on checking your answers multiple times, which does not really happen once you are into the paper for an hour or so, and you will understand whether the paper is lengthy, which most likely it would be. So you can probably do the MCQs in the middle. After the MCQs, I would preferably pick up a question which is the consolidation question or some other question, after which I will do the consolidation question. I will not leave the consolidation or the business combination question at the end unless I don't know that question. Okay, the reason is, remember, institute gives stepwise markings, but the stepwise markings over here are linked to the steps. Like if you calculate goodwill correctly, if you calculate NCI correctly, if you calculate consolidated profit and loss correctly, that is when you get marks. If you have made a half format, you are yet to allocate reserves, and that is when the examiner takes away the paper. That is not the best thing. You are not going to get marks. So might as well, if you're doing consolidation or business combination, let it come to a logical closure, because at the end, if let's say time runs out, a theory question or a question which is a descriptive question is something where you can easily squeeze the time, but a consolidation or business combination question is not a question which you can squeeze in the time. And hence I would prefer that if you have to solve it, which you will because it's going to be a compulsory one, then you probably do it in, let us say, between 1.5 hours to the 2 hour or the 2 hour 15 minutes time frame. In that band of your paper you should be solving it, not keeping it for the end. And at the end, preferably one of the questions that should be at the end is a question where you are in a position to compress. Like if you think that there are theory questions like there is something regarding technology or blockchain which you know a few points and you can summarize if the time is going to fall short. And I'm telling you again and again because as per our past experience, financial reporting paper is a paper where your time really runs out among all the 5 or 6 papers that you kind of consider. So be mindful of the watch. It will run faster than what you think it will. Not to kind of scare you, but to tell you and keep you mentally prepared that you're sprinting from the very first minute. You're not really waiting for 1.5 hours to do that. Okay, next, how do you complete the 100 marks? Over here, the time that you should typically keep is around 100 mark paper, so that is 1.8 minutes per mark. So it's a 10 mark question, should take around 18 minutes. But if you roughly say, I will say that MCQs can happen slightly faster depending on how the MCQs are. Descriptive can take maybe 2 minutes per mark. So approximately I would say that for an MCQ I will keep around 40 minutes to solve the 30 mark MCQs, and then there are 140 remaining minutes which I will use for my descriptive. Consolidation, business combination might take a little more than the prescribed 28 or 30 minutes. Maybe it should get over in around 30 to 35 minutes is your ideal target, and you can cover up the 5-7 minutes somewhere else. But ensure that you don't let one question eat up much of your time. If you think something is eating up more of the time, optimize it. If need be, write short forms. If need be, do, let us say, skip the narrations. I know narrations have to be written. You can just write the word being and a couple of other things. But if you're running out of time, it is more important that you kind of complete your 100 marks more than anything else. And hence, when you say that, can I use short forms? Preferably, you should always use the longer forms. But the idea over here is, if you have the share-based payment question, you can say employee benefit expense, EBE, into bracket, and then in every other entry you can write down that EB, because that will optimize on your time. Your suggested answer will write employee benefit expense everywhere, but remember, that's a copy paste thing. You have to complete everything in 3 hours, and hence you can very well use short forms. You can give a referencing for the first time, and then you can use the short forms in order to optimize on your time. Decimals is one very big area, but to give credit to the institute, they've been working quite well, and the last few exams we've been seeing that they're mentioning how many decimals to be taken in a particular question. But typically, if nothing is mentioned, then for a discount factor like in a compound financial instrument, you can take 4 decimals, even 3 works, but 4 decimals is safe. And for other numbers, you can round it off up to 2 decimals. So these are the set again, you will not find consistency. Like there'll be places where they've used 6 decimals, 4 decimals, 3 decimals, 2 decimals. If you try to reconcile everything, you will not get one set pattern. And hence 4 decimals for discount factor, and for the rupee or other values, you can round it up to 2 decimals. Can the short forms be used? I would use it. Again, do not go into beautifying your paper too much. Focus on the content. Do not really use pencil to make boxes and do a double underline. It's great provided you had 4 hours. You have 3 hours. Optimize on your time, and if time remains at the end, which is a little unlikely, then you can use it for the beautification and checking. Again, do not have a lot of self-doubt when you are solving. When you are solving, unless something appears to be notably wrong, do not keep on going and cross-checking it again and again, because it is going to eat up your time. If you are able to do the paper completely in a proper way, there might be some time where you can check it, but if you keep on checking the things which you are doing again and again, this is going to hamper and take away a lot of your time. Also, a very important thing when you are looking at the mindset is a lot of marks students lose out because of silly mistakes. So how does a silly mistake happen and how can you avoid it? You be in the moment, in that question, in that step when you're solving. Do not think about what you did in the last question, whether it was right or wrong. Do not be anxious on what is going to come in the next question. I don't know how to solve it. If you're going to do that, you'll miss that 1 0. You will press something wrong on your calculator, and that will have a lot of spillover effect. So ensure that you are in that moment when you are solving, and that goes a really long way. Further, when you are looking at a paper, I don't know whether it is going to be a tough paper, easy paper, not just FR, it can be anything. Remember, if it is tough for you, it is tough for everyone else. It's easier said than done, but have a positive vibe. Give yourself positive affirmations. What you can do in those 3 hours. If you kind of blank out, if you're not able to think, don't worry. Just process yourself. Whichever God or whoever you feel is very close to you, think about that, take a deep breath and continue writing. Do not give up while you are in it, and ensure that you give your best when you are in the paper. Have a positive mindset. Don't undermine yourself that I've not done this, I've not done this. Tell yourself, I've done this chapter, I've done these important questions, and that is going to take me through. The more you say no, the mind registers a no. Give yourself those positive backings. and I'm sure you have done well. This is going to be your attempt, and this is going to be the attempt that will give you your coveted prefix. I'll wish you all the very best. God bless you all, and give your best and go and make everyone proud. Goodbye, good luck, and take care.